link between our thoughts, our acts and destiny. Because we thought, the thoughts which we have leads to action. When the actions are repeated, it becomes a habit. And when habits are ingrained, it sort of defines our character. And depending on how our gunam is, our destiny or future is decided by that. So habits are a very important central piece of this chain of our life, starting from thoughts to destiny. And I remember that there is a very famous cliche on habit. It says habits are at times so deeply ingrained that even if you take a H, a bit remains. If you take A, bit remains. If you take B, it remains. So that is how much habits are a part of our life. A recent study shows that about 40 to 45% of all our acts on a day-to-day basis is actually directed by habits. Because remember, every day we pass through is a day of our life. We have lived that day. And that is the reason why we need to take our day-to-day stuff little more seriously, I guess. And habits seem to actually one-third to half of our life, which means look at the potential. Some habits are, of course, very preferable. Waking up early in the morning, I believe, is very preferable. I, in fact, have seen a book which is built on just waking up early in the morning. It's called a 5 a.m. club book. Yes. And they made a club out of it. And that's a way to institutionalize and systemize, I guess, good habits. And then there are some habits which, by definition, are not noticed. And the definition of a habit is when we do things repeatedly, and there is some perceived gain in that doing those things repeatedly, the brain does not want to spend much of its energy in doing it, if I can use the word deliberately, or using the Western language, conscious. And so brain also does some automated routines or subroutines, you see. And the moment there is a trigger, the subroutine case takes over and there is a go-to function there, go-to subroutine. Then what happens is we lead our life almost absently, which works, as a principle, it works very much in the favor of brain conserving its computing capacity or energy, etc., or attention. But it also has a possibility that maybe we are habituated to some which can enhance our quality of life if we can unhabituate ourselves or rehabituate ourselves. See, habits save a lot of time, energy, and attention of our brains. So brain is so organic, is so incredible that it knows, it keeps on monitoring. And it's not that I consciously write a subroutine. I don't say to my brain, I'm going to keep brushing every day, so let me have a subroutine. The brain seems to, if I can use the word, independent of my intention, which is explicit intention. Because brain is also me, I can't divorce myself from the brain. So I'm saying, without my explicit permission or intention, the brain, see how beautifully it quietly watches. If this chap is doing this day in and day out, chalo, I'll make a subroutine, make a program for it. And next time the chap wants to get into that, activity, let me not waste my sweat on time, energy, or attention. Let the subroutine take over. Let this automation take over. And it is done. And so since it's something not done with our permission, it won't go just by our orders. That the mind does not obey the commands of our buddhi, it only obeys patterns and habits. So the dominant deciding factor which is made for us inside is, if a pattern is there, it will immediately, if there is a trigger for a pattern, that pattern will unfold on its own accord unless I deliberately try to influence and change that pattern. So brain won't work on habits very hard, because the whole idea of habit is, I don't want to work on this. So obviously you can't crumple the brain to work on a habit hard. We need to support the brain in spite of the brain making it an automated affair. We need to actually support de-automating it, and if required, re-automating it. You see, and it is done for a purpose. It's a great, component of our evolution to such an intelligent being over time. Okay, so that's what is habits. Therefore, it saves time, energy, and attention, which means when you are habituated, when we are all habituated, we lose track of time. So we don't know about efficiency of what actions we are doing if it is in a habit mode. Second, we may expend some energy which are going to be a loss for us, or which is going to be counterproductive on the long run, but it is automated already. The third most important thing is attention. There, without any deliberate extra effort, attention won't be there. It will, if I can use the word, automatically happen. And so I need to put in these three if I have to reverse it or rewire it.
And let's count our blessings and make every blessing count. Have a great day.